3,450 euros. That's what we pay for these two old BMWs, both with no issues that are supposed to be easy to fix. If we're lucky, we fix them cheap, get our hands dirty, some wrenches, some grease, second-hand replacement, and boom, problem solved.
And we are going for a...
If we're wrong, total financial failure. So, between German family BBQs, cold beers, and unfortunately cold and rainy weather, let me show you if I can actually get one of these bikes road ready, ride it to Italy, use it all summer and resell it for profit before the next tropical adventure. Will it work? Let's find out. So here's the thing about buying a motorcycle in Germany instead of Italy. It's not romantic, it's pure economics.
There you go.
In Germany, I pay less than half what this bike would cost me in Italy. The bureaucracy simpler, the taxes lower, the insurance, a full casco coverage that would bankrupt me back home, cost me less than a basic policy in Italy. I could play the patriot and support my own country system, but when the Italian government make it this expensive just to own a vehicle, I'd rather be scammed by Germans. At least their scam is cheaper. But that's just the surface reason, the one I tell people at dinner parties. The real reason I bought this bike and I decided to ride it 1,200 kilometers from Hamburg to Treviso, that's harder to explain. You see, driving a motorcycle alone for long distances does something to your brain. It resets you, clears you out. When you are on a big bike like this BMW, you can't think about yesterday's problems or tomorrow's plans. You're forced into the present moment. Every gear shift, every turn, every truck passing you on the autobahn demands your complete attention. One mistake, 1 second of distraction, and you're done. And paradoxically, that danger, that requirement to be 100% present, it's the most peaceful thing I know. For someone like me who's always planning, always optimizing, always thinking 3 moves ahead to save money and time, this forced presence is medicine. I can't worry about my next YouTube upload when I'm leaning into a corner at 120 km per hour. These old BMWs are generally very noisy motorbikes, and this is due generally to the old boxer engine, to the cardanic transmissions. This is the drive shaft. But it is incredible how a simple oil change, in this case we are changing the gearbox oil, can drastically reduce the bad noise of the gear and make everything sounds better. The boxer engine runs smoothly now, but let's go back to the main problem, the transmission. Now, talking about final drives, that's something critical I need to share if you're thinking about buying one of these old BMWs. These bikes use a shaft drive transmission system just like a car. Unlike most motorcycles with chains and sprockets that you can easily inspect with a quick look, the BMW drive shaft and final drive are completely sealed. You can see their condition with your own eyes. When my brother went to inspect my GS before buying it, he checked for looseness in the rear wheel, testing the bearings. That's the only external check you can do on this specific bike. The seller, a German guy who claimed to be a mechanic, guaranteed that all the main parts were in good condition. He said he maintained everything himself over the years. The bike had recently passed the strict German TÜV inspection, so my brother concluded it was a good deal. And honestly, the cosmetic condition was also excellent. But here's the dangerous part. If the main bearings on the final drive fail, they can completely lock the rear wheel without any warnings. Imagine that happening at 150 km per hour. on the Autobahn. There are many stories of BMW rider having serious accidents because they didn't properly inspect their final drive condition. When I arrived in Germany and we started testing both bikes, we found something strange. When you put the bike on the center stand with the gear in neutral, the rear wheel should spin freely without friction. My GS didn't do that. The wheel felt like it was being held back by something, and it wasn't the brake. By poor chance, comparing the two bikes, we realized my GS definitely had a transmission problem. That was brought us to this point. That little bearing, together with all the transmission parts, if not inspected regularly, can bring the motorbike to what SpaceX lately likes to call an RUD, Rapid Unscheduled Disassembly. Except that could be you driving the bike when that happens. I know, when you're buying all things, there's always risk involved. Even though in our case the seller gave us all the guarantees, believe me, it's never enough. Inspect everything with the highest accuracy, especially when it comes to safety. Never trust any seller, even if they are in good faith. So my modest advice is just this: inspect, inspect, and inspect again, multiple times. If you are a rider, you understand what I'm saying, because if you don't, or you want to save money on maintenance, well, you know how it can end. And now let's go back to the video.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, here we are at the heart of the problem after we disassembly basically the whole bike. This is the main drive connectors, basically where the wheels get connected, and turns out that main bearing here, the idea is to change that bearings because it's probably where the problem is. Let's see how is the condition of these bearings. Comes out pretty easy and turns out that it is destroyed, as you can see. This is the problem.
Oh yes.
Yeah, let's go to the sun. This is done.
Okay.
Yeah, we have to replace it. So once we fix this is the other part of the transmission, as you can see there, which is in really good condition, and also the drive shaft is good. So we are lucky, guys. It's just like this part is not cheap. It's gonna cost around 100 euros, just the original bearings, but it's gonna give to the bike basically a completely new life. Okay, this is the situation on the bike, as you can see, but as my brother says, there is always some people in worst situation. So let's say we got lucky and this is the beautiful convertible that of course he fixed by himself. Everything that you cannot see, it's new. Everything is rebuilt, and he do everything by himself. Look at this. Anyway, we have our final transmission part of the motorbike, and we are heading now to sorry guys, we are heading now to a BMW shop. Hello.
Endlich, ja. Super. Endlich, ja.
Neighborhood. I don't speak German, unfortunately, but I think they thought about the car. The original bearing, that's gonna cost, unfortunately, around 100 euros, but it's a very vital part that could be replaced also with a cheap one, but it's a bad idea. Listen, never try to save money on bearings in these vital parts, in these vital mechanical parts, whatever it is, a bike or a car, because it's gonna possibly destroy all the parts, all the mechanicals, just to save 50 euros. So it's a very bad idea. So try to use the best possibly quality when you change bearings in mechanicals, in vital mechanical parts. Guys, it's a sunny day, but it is still I don't know, 15 degrees, which is definitely cold for me, but as you can see, they all driving like this. Also, guck mal. By the way, guys, we are at the BMW, which also has KTM. It's a big network of BMW shops around Germany. We asked if they could swap the broken bearings with a new one. If we are lucky, they will do it for us, and that's gonna be awesome because it's gonna save us many hours. So they have like a proper tool to do that, and for them it's gonna cost like a few minutes. Okay, the new bearing is in place. It was easy, and look how free it turns now. This is how it's supposed to be. Okay, now let's move on. That's how it's supposed to be. I don't know if you can see, but these all the broken bearing parts into the chamber there, mixed with oil, and this is only a part we clean already the most. Anyway, we're gonna clean that now. Heavy, guys.
So this time I can just open Google Maps, look at the route from Hamburg to Treviso, skip booking any rooms and see how it goes. Just like I did on my first motorcycle trip in Thailand. Here it's different. It's colder, traffic can be hell, hotels are expensive, and let's not even mention the price of gasoline right now. We all know why. Time itself is more expensive here in Europe, and right now I've activated budget mode. So I'll plan at least one stop along the way, but I'll get to that in the next episode. This trip looks more like a transfer than a travel. I can't benefit from the same free time I use when I'm in Southeast Asia, but it's still a good experience to reset my mind before my summer in Italy, even if it's very short, before whatever mission comes next.
Okay, this is done. Nein, also das kontrolliert man nicht, aber wenn du die Reifen dreht, merkt man, in diese, genau, also diese Motorrad, weißt du schon Bescheid, wenn du die Reifen, also du kannst die Reifen sich wunderbar, das dreht sich nicht gut, dann weißt du, das ist das kaputt, automatisch, sozusagen. Und ein TÜV, wenn das Rad nicht frei ist, sollte das Motorrad kein TÜV kriegen, muss das kontrolliert werden.
Final drive transmission problem fixed with a new bearing, 100 euros, but we're giving this motorbike a lot more kilometers to live. New oil, new fluids, new brake pads, everything this old lady needs to be 100% safe and reliable for the next chapter of her life. We did it.
There is a big difference now. Now we can make another 100,000 kilometers. And we are going for a quick test drive. See if everything works good.
Just 3D print a little support for my iPhone that will guide me on the road, and we are done. What makes me appreciate this experience the most isn't just having a fully working GS right now, it was the journey to fix it. Time spent with my brother doing what we love together, like we used to do. That's the gift. That's what I appreciate more and what will stay in our memory for a long time as a real brotherhood experience. Was it worth it? It was absolutely worth it. Not for the bike, but for the experience I had the chance to share with my brother. And wait a second, I forgot to tell you about the other GS, the Model R that my brother decided to keep for himself. Just a couple of brake fluid changes, new gasket on the brake system, and the ABS, one of the most known issue of these old BMWs, came back to life with its powerful braking. This Model R, sitting at around 50,000 kilometers, now fully working, is a complete steal, if you consider what we pay for this motorbike. And on this incredible deal, it's time to say goodbye. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope to see you in the next episode, where I finally drive back to Italy.